The third proof of concept we've developed is an adaptive documentation interview agent. A fixed questionnaire can help, but so can a pass or fail criteria. But it can also annoy people. Developers and product managers do not want to answer questions that have already been answered in the ticket or the pull request or the product requirements document. They don't want their work to be halted because the definition of done, that is providing the necessary information, hasn't been met. An adaptive interview works differently. It first checks the evidence already gathered, it looks at what's already been answered and what is still unknown, and where sources conflict. Then it asks one useful question at a time. For example, if permissions are unclear, it asks about permissions. If the user goal is already well evidenced, it doesn't ask for that again. If the respondent says, "I don't know," the system records that honestly rather than inventing an answer. And this can be a better fit for documentation work because missing information is rarely uniform. The aim is to reduce clarification loops rather than create a new admin burden. Getting developers to provide better source information is rarely solved by goodwill alone. The carrot is obvious enough. Better handover means fewer interruptions later, fewer review comments, less rework, and documentation that is more likely to explain the feature accurately. The stick is also available. A team can say work is not ready for documenting until the required information is present. It can add documentation readiness to release governance. It can make missing source information visible in a dashboard. If the process is awkward, developers will probably work around it. Even a sensible process starts to look unreasonable when it adds grit to a busy release cycle. So that might mean meeting developers where they already work, in Jira, GitHub, or Teams. In other words, building it into the development workflow. And that might mean pre-filling what can be found from existing source material, so the developers or product managers only need to be asked the missing questions.